it possible to improve on perfection?
Saddle up, partners, as we journey back to the turbulent and captivating era of the 19th century cowboy. From the crack of dawn to the glow of sunset, life on the open range was an extraordinary adventure filled with hardships, camaraderie, and a touch of wild, wild west. Come along as we resolve the myths of these intrepid wranglers, delving into the grind, the trail, and the legendary figures who define the American frontier. Ready yourself for an unforgettable journey. Sunrise to sunset, the daily grind of a 19th century cowboy. The break of dawn is no stranger to the 19th century cowboy. As the first rays of the sun grace the open prairie, the cowboy's day begins. Don't be mistaken. This is no 9-to-5 job. It's an enduring marathon from sunrise to sunset. The cowboy's morning routine is surprisingly uniform. In fact, by 4 a.m., our cowboy is usually up, stoking the fire and brewing strong black cowboy coffee. Breakfast is often hearty, loaded with beans, bacon, and biscuits. After all, you need the fuel to handle the rigors of the day. On horseback by daybreak, they'd be out on the range. Tending the herd isn't just about riding around aimlessly. No, sir, it requires eagle-eyed vigilance, constant herding, and preventing the cattle from straying. Ever heard of the term riding the line? It was a cowboy's daily routine, marking his territory and keeping a check on fences and possible breakouts. The cowboy's bond with his horse is truly unique. Just imagine these horses weren't just companions, they were lifelines. Factually, most cowboys own at least 2 or 3 horses and rotated them throughout the day to keep them from tiring. Talk about team spirit. And then there's the late afternoon branding, which, let me tell you, was no walk in the park. Branding was vital to show ownership of cattle, a necessity in an era where rustling was common. Imagine the sheer strength and precision required to control a creature that outweighed you several times. Sunset didn't signal the end of the day for the cowboy. Quite the contrary. As the dust settled, it was time to corral the herd, ensuring none had gone missing. The day concluded with a simple meal, perhaps some more beans, some salt pork, and a hardtack biscuit if they were lucky. The cowboy's day drew close as they bedded down for the night under a blanket of stars. But rest assured, the plains and the cattle would be waiting for them come sunrise. From dust to droughts, the trials of the trail. The life of a 19th century cowboy isn't all picturesque sunsets and heroic horseback rides. Let's shift gears and delve into the trials of the trail and the daily difficulties faced by our cowboy heroes. The climate of the Wild West was a fierce adversary. The frigid chill was biting and relentless, turning the open plains into a brutal, icy tundra. In contrast, summer scorched the land with temperatures often exceeding 100 degrees. Imagine, just for a moment, working in that kind of heat with no air conditioning, no shade, just the relentless sun above and the dusty trail below. Discuss water next. Drought was always possible since the water was limited. According to estimates, a single cow needs between 5 and 30 gallons of water daily. A herd of 1,000 would need as much as 30,000 gallons of water every day. You can only imagine the hardship if water sources ran dry. And it wasn't just about the elements. We're talking about long days and nights in the saddle, weeks or months away from home. With little more than a blanket roll for comfort, sleeping out on the open range was a rough and ready affair. The threats were not just environmental. Ever heard of a stampede? It's the cowboy's worst nightmare. A herd of terrified, rampaging cattle could be set off by the smallest thing. A clap of thunder, a rattling pan, or even a startled jackrabbit. A peaceful herd could become a devastating, unstoppable force in mere moments. Historical records show hundreds of cowboys met their end in these frantic stampedes. Dust, droughts, long rides, and the constant threat of danger. Riding, roping, and branding, the skills of the trade. When you think of cowboys, you envision them atop their trusty steeds, effortlessly navigating the vast expanse of the Wild West. But make no mistake, their skills go far beyond sitting in the saddle. Let's dive into the essential skills of a 19th century cowboy. First and foremost, riding. Cowboys were expert horsemen, masters of the reins. They connected intimately with their horses, communicating through subtle cues and commands. Roping was a fundamental skill for a cowboy. It could accurately lasso cattle from horseback with a flick of the wrist and a well-practiced aim. This skill was essential for herding, capturing stray animals, and ensuring the safety and order of the herd. It required precise timing, coordination, and a steady hand. Branding, too, was a crucial aspect of the cowboy's trade. It wasn't just about marking ownership. It was a means of identification and control. Branding involved heating iron in a fire until it glowed red hot, then searing it onto the hide of the cattle. It required immense strength, steady nerves, and a deep understanding of livestock behavior. Imagine the precision and composure it took to approach a powerful beast and leave an indelible mark. Repairing wagons, equipment, and fences were also part of a cowboy's repertoire. They were jack of all trades, capable of mending and maintaining the tools of their trade with ingenuity and resourcefulness. Often, they had to fashion makeshift solutions from whatever materials were available on the range. Let's not forget their resourcefulness in adapting to the environment. Cowboys would fashion their gear, such as saddles, bridles, and ropes, often using materials readily available. Campfire tales, bonding, and brotherhood under the stars. Cowboys were natural storytellers whose tales were as captivating as the Western landscapes. They spoke of daring adventures, narrow escapes, encounters with Native American tribes, and supernatural beings that lurked in the wilderness. These tales entertained and served to educate and preserve the cowboy way of life. Music, too, played a vital role in cowboy culture. They would gather around the campfire, strumming guitars, harmonicas, or improvised instruments, their voices blending harmoniously. These songs spoke of love, loss, longing, and the freedom of the open range. They sang ballads that echoed through the night, keeping spirits high and forging bonds transcending language and background. The campfire was a great equalizer, where cowboys from different walks of life shared the same hardships, joys, and dreams. It created a sense of brotherhood beyond blood ties or social status. Gather round, partners. Picture this: a vast open prairie, a crackling campfire, and a group of weary but spirited cowboys. Tales would weave through the air like smoke, capturing the imaginations of all who listened. Cowboys were natural storytellers. They regaled one another with tales of daring adventures, encounters with outlaws, and the mystical beauty of the untamed West. Stories would range from humorous to heart-stopping, with each cowboy adding embellishments and flourishes. Legends emerged from these campfire gatherings. Tales of larger-than-life characters like Wild Bill Hickok, Calamity Jane, and Billy the Kid spread like wildfire across the frontier. These tales forged bonds among cowboys, creating a brotherhood that transcended the challenges of the trail. Each cowboy brought their unique perspective and experiences etched into the fabric of their storytelling. Music often accompanied these campfire gatherings. The soft strumming of a guitar or the melancholy melody of a harmonica would fill the night air, blending with the crackling of the fire. Cowboys would sing traditional folk songs and ballads about love, loss, and the longing for home. The campfire tales illuminated the spirit of the cowboy, bringing them closer together amidst the vastness of the West. The lawless frontier, cowboys and outlaws. Cowboys faced infamous bandits as well as range defenders. Jesse James and Billy the Kid's D's inspired tales. Cowboys weren't always law-abiding. Most were productive, law-abiding people, but others became bandits and criminals. Bad hombre cowboys left their mark on the Wild West. Western law enforcement was tough. The broad border and limited population made law enforcement difficult. Outlaws preyed on naive newcomers in this power vacuum. However, cowboys were crucial to order. They helped police catch and convict criminals. These meetings often resulted in dramatic gunfights. The cowboys' shootout myth is false. Most confrontations ended amicably without gunfights. Cowboys kept order with their brains, negotiation abilities, and sense of fairness. Lawlessness and justice intertwined in the Wild West. Cowboys and outlaws occasionally met, blurring the boundary between hero and criminal. The cowboy's sense of honor and fairness triumphed despite the unrest, forever changing the American West. As we close this chapter on the life of a cowboy in the 19th century, we hope the wild freedom of the American West has inspired you. If you like this story, please subscribe to our channel for more exciting historical accounts like this one. Please share your ideas and favorite cowboy stories in the comments section. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and may your spirit ride free on the open range. Happy trails, partners.